of legitimacy. Part of the prayers that Raila Odinga and Martha Karua have made at the Supreme Court is let's just get the real numbers and then compel IEBC to certify the real winner. So they seem at least to have a reading of the mood when you look at things like inflation and maize subsidy and mafuta subsidy, fuel subsidy. But do you think the question of legitimacy will be persistent regardless of who assumes office?
I think so. I think it would be. But who cares? And I'm not just asking that very in a flippant manner. Look at the second Jubilee term. How did Jubilee government in 2017 ascend power? There was an election petition. The Supreme Court ruled that there had been irregularities and that there should be a repeat election. We all saw what happened in the repeat election. Raila Odinga at the time said, we cannot have the same IEBC. Because, I mean, if I'm having a problem, assuming I live in this compound and I have a problem with my watchman, and then we go to court and everybody, and there's evidence that this watchman is the one who has the problem. He has been allowing thieves and all manner of people to come into my compound. And then we say, we need a reset. And then you place the same watchman at the, I mean, really, this doesn't make any sense. And so there was a boycott. But what happened after there was a boycott? But some people voted. I remember even reading and seeing news clips where children were going into the voting booth and voting because that second Jubilee government needed some form of legitimacy and say we were elected by the people. You see, we've just heard that the power is invested in the people, and so that charade had to occur. That we had people voting for us. But the thing was a total sham. I can actually say, very clearly that the second Jubilee term, the second Jubilee government was an illegitimate government. But who cares? Did they not get into power and do what they wanted to do? A lot of heavy borrowing of loans, left, right, and center, KEMSA scandal, all manner of scandals. And I think that actually happened because of the illegitimacy of that particular government. Because once you ascend power through nefarious methods, who cares? So at the end of the day, that conversation, that deep cleanse that Daisy is talking about is something that is required. And I just want to chime in on the issue of the civil society. One of the things that has swallowed up the voice of the civil society, and I think this is will be one of the lasting negative impacts of the Jubilee government, is that what the last 10 years of Jubilee have done, right from 2013, and remember in 2013, we had 2 ICC inductees on the ballot, and we voted them into power. That's a fact. We were all sitting here watching the ICC cases, going on and on. What happened is, and this is my view, that what the Jubilee government did is that it removed moderate thinking and moderate voices from the public sphere. And that is why it has now become very difficult even to tweet something and you'll find somebody in your mentions, you are a Jubilee mole, you are a UDA mole, you are an Azimio mole. Because what Jubilee did was polarize the country to an extent that people can only think in terms of dualities. Things are either black or white. You are either in UDA or you are in Azimio. You are either left or right. There is no, and the civil society is a space of ideas. It's a space where we sit down and say, wait a minute, this is happening because of ABCD. We need to address the issues. That space it shrunk, or it became overshadowed by the duality thinking, where we cannot sit down and have a conversation where you might be on that side, I might be on this side. But in the middle here is Kenya. And Kenya is the thing that we need to nurture. It became, you're over there and I'm over here, and my work is to shoot you down and your work is to shoot me down. That is the problem we are having. That is where we find ourselves here. And part of that conversation, part of why we are here, is because we are unable to think beyond these subjectivities. We are unable to transcend the subjectivities and say, all right, I'm a UDA member, but if this happened from my side, then this is a problem. Not just for me. It's a problem for all of us. It's a problem for our children. Because what we are doing is setting a precedent that we will never have free and fair elections in this country. And it's not just about the free and fair elections. It means then we are operating in a space of impunity. What does that mean for our children? What does that mean for education? What does that mean for representation? What does that mean for the women and children of this country, for the men of this country, for the young people of this country? All right? So if we are unable to transcend, or I say I am Azimio, if these allegations are true, for example, then it means, it doesn't necessarily mean that my man won. It means the process is a flawed process. So we need to address the process. And I think this is why, I don't know if it was Justice Lenaola who was asking a very serious question. And he was asking, and here I will paraphrase, if we are saying that the IEBC cannot conduct an election, who must conduct this election? That is a very pertinent question. And people are saying, no, this is not, that's not what he's saying. What he's asking is this, because everybody is thinking within the space of duality. It is, if he asks this question, it means he's supporting my side. If he's asking this question, it means he's supporting that side. That's not the point. The point is not my side won or your side won. The point here is, if this process is flawed and we ask for a rerun, for example, who is going to conduct that rerun? Do we trust the IEBC? Who is the IEBC? Is it Chebu? Do we trust the chair of the IEBC to say, all right, Mr. Chebukati, take over. You might not have a full deck, but you and the people and the three who are are on good terms conduct this election. Of course not. It is impossible. So who is going to conduct this election? And that's a deeper question, because it means if our institutions are broken, even the legitimacy of our governors, of our senators, of our MCAs, we have to ask these questions all the way down to the county level. This MCA that has won, did they really win? And I think that question was also raised. Did this MCA really win? Did this senator win? Did this MP win really? So this is it's a deep conversation. It is not just about politics and politicians. It's about the conversations we are having. We are so polarized to the point where we cannot sit down and think rationally and think, and to think rationally is not mean I'm not emotional, or it doesn't mean that I'm not invested, that it might mean I am heated, but it also means I have the ability to voice my own opinion, and it should not be an uninformed opinion. Everybody likes saying, we are all entitled to our opinions. No, you're not. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, but not their uninformed opinion.